One of the greatest games of all time, Elden Ring, has finally come out with the DLC, and I gotta say, it definitely lives up to the expectations of the original game, just because of the amount of stuff I could already see when you first entered the DLC, that I was just mind blown, that it was giving me the same feeling I was having when I first played Elden Ring, where I just didn't even know what to do, because there was so much to do. And I honestly find it to be absolutely phenomenal, because the original game, I feel like, is so hard to top, just because of how perfect and how absolutely phenomenal it is. So for them to be able to make a DLC that have the same exact feelings as if you're playing the game for the first time again is just honestly phenomenal. And I mean, of course they can come up with it, because Miyazaki just has that brain power for it. I don't know where he gets it from, but he's just a phenomenal designer. It's actually amazing. I feel like Elden Ring just looks so beautiful. So when you first go into this world, you're just met with this open field of phantom graves and like a dark world, which honestly contrasts together phenomenally. It honestly looks amazing. The graphics in this game are so good. I love it so much. And this DLC definitely does justice to the beauty of this game, with all the contrasting lighting and just how the whole game looks with the grass that's up, and just, oh my god, it is honestly so good. I love it so much. Whoa there, I see the button down there. It says subscribe, not subscribed. You know what that means? Press the button, it's free. Let's go back to the video. Now, sure, the game can look beautiful, but does it actually still play like the normal Elden Ring? Does it still play very good? And I gotta say, yes. I didn't make it extremely far in the DLC yet, but I gotta say, the little bits I've been playing of it has been honestly phenomenal. And it's just funny how this DLC is definitely a lot more harder than the base game, because the first enemy I encountered, I was already feeling like I was struggling with. It was just some stupid basic bird enemy in an open field. I already had to use multiple S's just to beat him. And I gotta say, I felt like that was definitely gonna set the standard of the DLC, because if the normal enemy you fight, the very first enemy you fight in the DLC is already giving me a little bit of trouble, oh boy, I just did not know what I was gonna get myself into, I'll tell you that. I kept hearing online the first boss is too hard. He just keeps one-shotting you. It does infinite damage. And my first boss that I fought was the Spirit Knight guy who you see in like an underground staircase. I don't know if that's the same boss everyone was talking about, but he was doing an incredible amount of damage with the sword. Just one hit was already doing more than half of my HP, which I found to be crazy, because I had so much HP going into this DLC. So for him to do that much damage to me is actually insane. But hey, if you have the Moon Veil, then it's just an OP weapon. He staggers for every hit and makes the boss super easy. You just gotta wait for him to heal, just keep hitting him, and boom, easy boss. But still, when I was fighting that guy, even with the Moon Veil cheese, it was just honestly so great to be back inside of this DLC. I felt like going back to the combat of this game, just going back to the feel of the game, it's honestly so good. And I love Elden Ring so much. This is definitely one of the greatest games of all time, and the DLC so far has definitely been heightening Elden Ring even more, just because they can make such a phenomenal DLC for already a phenomenal game. It has been honestly amazing. Now, the only area I have completed inside of this game is the first castle area you do find when you take like that big archway to the left. I gotta say, it was so nice experiencing a whole new area in Elden Ring, because I feel like I've played the base game so much time, so to be able to actually explore a whole new area, even if it's just like another castle, has been honestly phenomenal. I've been loving it so much. I didn't realize how much I needed more Elden Ring content until I started playing this DLC, because it has been such a blast, even just going through some basic classic area. And it's been, I gotta say, I could definitely see why everyone in the world is just playing this DLC right now, because it is honestly phenomenal. But now, the main thing that I wanted to talk about with this, I feel like to be the actual first boss, which is Divine Beast Dancing Lion. When I was first watching this cutscene, dude, this guy actually looks kind of scary. Like the glowing eyes, the weird like wolf face. This guy is actually kind of scary to look at, but this boss fight, it looks really cool. How you keep switching his elements up the more you fight him. I think the thunder phase looks really cool. I really like the ice phase where you see all the mist in the air, same as the wind one. The boss arena just looks super cool, and I'm such a big fan of boss arenas. Like, if you have a cool boss arena, it just makes the fight so much more better, even if it is a kind of lame boss. Like Renala, for example. Sure, it's very easy. You kind of just run up to her and hit her until she dies, but she has such a cool boss arena. I love it so much. So a boss arena for me definitely heightens a boss so much, and this guy having all the special effects and everything on his boss enhanced the boss fight for me so much. I thought it was such a cool boss fight just because of this. Very hard as well. It was taking me a long time, a lot more than I was willing to admit. I died many times to him until I finally buckled and used the mimic and beat him first try. and I was definitely not proud of that fact, to be honest. I thought maybe I was still gonna die and kind of just go back to normal, but man, the mimics are so broken inside of this game, especially that the DLC now allows you to upgrade your spirits even more. It makes the mimic actually busted, because I don't think they were even at half HP when I beat the boss. It was actually insane. The mimic is even now more broken. It's kind of like pre-patch now with all these buffs you can add to it. I think I almost killed him one time on my own, so I still feel like it's kind of good, and I did really well on the run that I had the Mimic. I guess that's probably because he took aggro a lot of the time, but yeah, Mimics are very OP, but this first boss fight was really cool, and I'm definitely excited to see more of this DLC. But yeah, I basically wanted to talk about my first impressions of this DLC. It has honestly been phenomenal. I'm having such a blast playing it, and this first boss was already super cool. So I'm excited for all the new bosses, also the new weapon types they added in this. I'm very excited to see a lot more of this DLC. And I wonder, how are you guys feeling about this DLC so far? Because it's been honestly a blast, and I feel like most people will probably like it. I know some people are having performance issues, but other than that, I feel like everyone's really loving it. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, leave a like. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you did. Now, I'm probably going to go back to playing some Elden Ring because, boy, I'm now going to be addicted to this game again, just like how I was originally. Crippling addicted. But yeah, bye-bye.